Good morning, students. In today's class, we are going to take the second story prescribed in your syllabus, Upper Division Love by Manohar Malgonkar. As you all know that in yesterday's class, we had completed the summary and the discussion of the story, The Gift of the Magi by O. Henry. Now, the story that we take today, Upper Division Love, is also a very interesting story. Before we speak about the story, let me tell you a little bit about the author. Manohar Malgonkar was an Indian writer who was born in 1913 and he died on 14 June 2010. The story that he has written is a very simple story depicting the aspirations, the love and the revenge of a lower division clerk. As it happens in the story, when the story begins, or to give you a brief gist of the story revolves around a lower division clerk falling in love with an actress. The title which the writer has given, Upper Division Love, is something which is, a part and parcel of the complete story, because it is said in the text of the story that a lower division clerk should not have upper division aspirations. This is true to a certain extent because the clerk, a lower division clerk, aspires and falls in love with the film actress Sundarbala. He is so much so in love with the actress that when the story begins, he is literally taken over by the beauty of Sundarbala. He stops at the bus stop to look at the poster. He has seen every movie of the heroine. He knows every song where it has a pause, where it has a break, everything about the heroine. Now, he is so much so in love with the heroine that he is, in the heart of the heart, wanting that probably he should be face to face with the women whom he loves, that is the actress Sundarbala. Now, destiny smiles on him and he chances upon the heroine while she is shopping in a bookstore. The lower division clerk happens to be in that shop, and all of a sudden there is a lot of flutter and there is a lot of hullabaloo in the road, and then he realizes that the heroine, she walks into the shop to purchase some pens, and mistaking him for the shopkeeper, she asks him that, can you give me this gold encrusted pen? And before the lower division clerk could answer, the shopkeeper comes and he frisks away the heroine to another counter, and the lower division clerk is left standing. When he wishes to move towards the heroine, because he realizes that Sundarbala has left her sunglasses on the table and he wishes to give her back, he is put away by the escorts. He's not able to reach, but finally he reaches to the heroine and he hands over the sunglasses to the heroine. And the first turning point in the story is the beautiful smile that Sundarbala flashes as a thank you to the lower division clerk. The smile, it has, a pinball effect on the lower division clerk, the multiple effect. The entire world of the lower division clerk changes. After that, his life takes a turn. Taken over by the beauty of Sundarbala, having fallen in love with Sundarbala, he makes it a point that he stands in front of the Gajra studio where Sundarbala is shooting for a film every day before going to the office. He stands at the gate of the studio. The heroine, she enters in her car, two-tone car. She doesn't move her neck. She just goes with the car inside the studio. The clerk looks at his heroine and then he goes to the office. This continues for 2 or 3 days. Then once the door of the studio is open and a man calls from inside that, can you speak Hindi and can you act? There is a line which has been written by Manohar Malgonkar about a blind man asking for an eye and God giving him both the eyes. So this is a blessing for the lower division clerk. The heroine whom he is so much in love with, he is about to act in the film starring the same heroine, and plus he has a small role of a rogue or a villain, in face to face with the heroine that he is in love with. Now he enters the studio and he is told that this is the scene where he is supposed to act as a villain with a little bit of mustache and a ruffianly character with a lot of makeup. and the heroine is waiting for the hero, and this clerk, he has to go, he has to tease the heroine, and he has to pull the necklace that is in the neck of the heroine with a little tug. And the hero comes and he tries to protect the heroine, and he gives a small, a bump to the villain, and this is how the scene finishes according to the script. Now what happens in actuality when the scene is shot? That the necklace, which was supposed to come out with a single tug, with a single touch of the clerk's hand, it doesn't come out with the tug. And to bring it out, because the script demands it, the clerk, he pulls the necklace so hard that because of pulling the necklace, there is a mark on the neck of Sundarbala, and she starts crying loudly, "Oh my God, what he has done! Oh my God, what he has done!" Even the clerk is surprised by the fact, because he was told that he would be just touching the necklace and the necklace will come out in a second. Anyway, the scene is finished because the heroine is injured. She has a lot of marks on the neck. And the next scene was the hero's entry, and the hero hitting the clerk a little lightly, and the clerk had to pretend that he had just fallen down. Now, when Sundarbala is hurt by this episode, when she develops a lot of marks on her neck because of the pulling away of the necklace, she complains to Ramakant, the hero of the film. And both Ramakant and Sundarbala, they plan some kind of revenge on the clerk, and when the next scene is shot, in which Ramakant has to hit the clerk little lightly, but instead of hitting the clerk little lightly, Ramakant gives him a great push with his fist, that the clerk, instead of pretending, he literally falls down because he has been hit very hard. And then both Ramakant and Sundarbala laugh and jeer at the clerk. Sundarbala says to Ramakant that he is the man who stands every day in front of the studio and looks at her. So this was the revenge that Sundarbala and Ramakant had planned on the clerk. And the same smile, which, dear students, in the initial part of the story had a magical impact, the multiple pinball impact, the smile that made the clerk fall in love with the heroine head over heels, the same smile turned into a villainous smile. The smile did not have the same character, the smile did not have the same impact. And at that moment of time, there is a turn in the story, and the turn of the story is that the clerk realizes that he has to take a revenge upon Sundarbala, and the revenge act may also include the hero, that is the Ramakant. A lot of animal imagery is used with words like ape and bear and dog and all that stuff, and the animal imagery that is used by Manohar Mankokar is just to highlight the language that he is wanting to put, but not putting it very directly. So from this point of view, there comes a turn in the story in which the clerk starts contemplating of revenge against Sundarbala and Ramakant. What kind of revenge does he think of? How does he fulfill the revenge that he has thought of? And how does the story finish? This all we will be discussing in tomorrow's class. So for today's class, we have only the first part of the story under discussion. The episode of the clerk falling in love with the heroine, his acting in the film with the same heroine, the role he has assigned, the role that he does, and what are the repercussions of that particular role. This much we have discussed. From tomorrow, we will take up the second part of the story, the turn of the story, and we are going to finish the story. And later in the third class, we are going to take up the summary of the story. So thank you, students, for this much in the class. Tomorrow we meet again with the second part of the story. Thank you.